Did you know that one mistake could cost you thousands when you're buying your first home? I see it all the time. I'm going to break down the top 5 mistakes that first-time home buyers make so you don't end up regretting your purchase. Hey there, I'm Tanya Stokes, your real estate agent in North and South Carolina. I help buyers and sellers navigate the real estate market without all the stress. So if you want to buy a house soon, make sure you watch this video in its entirety so you can save lots of money and you won't regret your purchase. Mistake number 1, not getting pre-approved. We talk about this all the time. House hunting is exciting, but looking before you get pre-approved is like going to the mall without your wallet. Yes, sellers want to make sure that you are serious and they want to know that you can afford their home. So before looking at homes, get pre-approved so you'll know exactly what your budget is. Not only that, I'm not going to waste your time by showing you houses that are not in your budget. Mistake number 2, underestimating hidden costs. So what are hidden costs? Because a lot of times people think, oh, I have a mortgage and I only need to be concerned with my monthly mortgage. There are hidden expenses that catch first-time home buyers off guard. For instance, property taxes is ongoing and the cost is based on the property's value and it varies in locations. Your homeowner's insurance is required by the lender to cover damages to the property and potential liability. Now, your closing costs are fees associated with finalizing the sale, including title insurance, attorney fees, origination fees, and so forth and so on. In North and South Carolina, this is typically 2 to 5% of the home's price, but it can vary. Your home inspection cost is to assess the property's condition before purchase. It's kind of like popping the hood of a car to make sure everything is in working order, or at least there are no major damages before you buy it. Now, your appraisal fee is a cost for professional evaluation of the property and the market's value. Now, I'm sure you've heard a lot about HOA fees. It's a monthly or annual fee for living in a community with shared amenities like pools and landscaping. But let me tell you, your HOA fee can vary according to the type of house that you buy. For instance, a good friend of mine bought a high-rise in Uptown Charlotte with a concierge service. It overlooked the Panther Stadium. Her HOA fees were $800 per month. A client of mine bought a townhouse in another area of Charlotte. Her HOA fees are $300 a month. My HOA fees, $650 annually. And that includes a pool and landscaping and a community center. So you see the difference? Single family, condo, and the other one is a townhome. So when you're looking at purchasing a home, you want to make sure you know exactly what type of home you want to buy. I know a lot of us don't want to do yard work, but I'm telling you, especially during the summer months, you could find a lawn guy for about $100 per month. Maintenance repairs, unexpected costs for fixing issues like plumbing, electrical, or roof problems. And another thing with that, when you buy new construction, you rarely have those issues. So that's another thing I want you to consider. With new construction, you have about 6 years of structural warranty. You have a year after you purchase the house for them to come back and do some minor cosmetic repairs, little things like that. But when you buy a resale home, well, that's a little different. You may buy a home that already needs, a roof done where you can negotiate the price, or maybe after you get into the house, a few years later, you need to repair the roof or you need to repair the HVAC. A lot of little things like that I want you to think about. Then you have your moving expenses. It's the cost of hiring movers to pack you and move you to your brand new home. And utility setup fees, of course, that's your electricity, your water, your gas, and then mortgage insurance. Now, this may be required if a large down payment isn't made. What do I mean by large? Do you know that 20% you always hear people talk about? If you did not put 20% down, you probably will have mortgage insurance. We could talk about that at a later day. I also want you to keep in mind that location matters. Property taxes and HOA fees can vary significantly based on where you buy your home. Ask your realtor or your lender for a breakdown of potential upfront fees. Factor in future expenses, budgets for regular maintenance and potential repairs beyond your mortgage payment. Mistake number 3, skipping the home inspection. Again, would you buy a car without checking under the hood? Then why would you skip the home inspection? Listen, hidden issues like leaks, mold, or foundational problems could cost you thousands later. Let me tell you a quick story. I had a client who wanted to skip the inspection because he had been in wars, all through 21. And he finally found a house and he says, you know what? I'm tired of doing this. What can we do to skip over this and get to the closing table? So I was like, there are very few steps. Someone told him about not getting an inspection. And I was like, absolutely not. You want to get an inspection. This was his first home. And I did not feel right about it. I never encourage it. And I'm saying to you, do not buy a home without an inspection. Please don't. Not unless you're going to buy the house and tear the whole thing down, you know what I mean, and build another house in that area. Maybe it had great acreage and you didn't care for the house anyway, but please do not buy a house without an inspection. Anyway, I was able to convince him not to buy that house without the inspection. Long story short, we ended up not putting in an offer on that house and he ended up going with a new build. But here's the thing. Several weeks later, that house ended up back on the market. You know why? Mold. I don't know how severe it was. In a case like this, the seller has to pay to have that mold removed before relisting the property. Or the buyer could buy it as is and negotiate the price, but and get the remediation done themselves. But imagine if I had let my client purchase that home without an inspection, So always listen to your realtor and never buy a house without an inspection. But hey, do you think the seller knew about the mole? I digress. Mistake number 4, falling in love with a house too quickly. So we go through this list, right? And it's a list of deal breakers and must-haves. So when I am on the MLS trying to match you with the perfect property, more than likely I'm going to find the house that you want. Hopefully in the neighborhood that you desire with great schools, right? But sometimes we stumble on houses that you are in love with. And I always encourage my buyer to sleep on it. Sleep on it. I mean, what's another day? So don't fall in love with the house too quickly. I mean, I get it. You walk into the house and immediately you picture yourself living there. But falling in love with a home too fast can lead to overpaying and overlooking red flags. When emotions are high, logic is low, and emotions can make you ignore problems like bad location, overpriced listing, or necessary repairs. So always have a backup option and stick to your budget and listen to your agent. Number 5 is to always have an agent. Never go to a new build, never go to the resale home where you're talking with the listing agent. Always take your agent, let your agent advocate for you, let your agent negotiate for you. I mean, just imagine the house with the mold. Imagine if I were not there with my client. So be careful, always show up with your own agent. You want to make sure your agent knows the market and actually cares about your goals. Hey, listen, I hope this helps. I'm Tanya Stokes, your North and South Carolina real estate agent. If you have any questions, feel free to click the link in my bio. In that bio, you'll find a link to my calendar. Schedule a meeting so we could sit down and talk about your needs and wants. And hopefully I'll be able to connect you with the property that you desire. Please share this video with a friend, and I'll talk with you soon.